Hey everybody, it's me, Richard with Are You Into Horror? So today I am going to be doing my buddy read review on The Right Hand of Evil by John Saul. Come back after the intro. So welcome back, you guys. This is the 27th book of 36 horror classic bestsellers by John Saul. This is the 27th of my read through of probably my favorite horror author of all time, besides Robert R. McCammon. Now, the thing about John Saul is that John Saul always wrote horror. And let me tell you what, this was no exception. So, this book came out in 1999, has 427 pages, and I'm going to read you the back synopsis. First off, I'm going to show you this badass cover art. I do have the hardback, but I would have to dig it out of up there. And like all of my hardbacks, they are signed by John Saul. And this was the last one. I think this one and the last one were the last ones I got signed by him. And then, we just lost contact and he didn't do book signings anymore. So, this one says, when the Conways move into their ancestral home in Louisiana, after the death of an estranged aunt, it is with the promise of a new beginning. But the house has a life of its own, abandoned for the last 40 years, surrounded by thick trees and a stifling sense of melancholy. The sprawling Victorian house seems to swallow up the sunlight. Deep within the cold cellar and etched into the very long walls is a long, dark history of the Conway name, a grim bloodline poisoned by suicide, strange disappearances, voodoo rituals, and rumors of murder, but the family knows nothing of the soul-shattering secrets that snake through generations of their past. They do not know that terror awaits them, for with each generation of the Conways comes the hellish day of reckoning. Yeah, so this was written in 1999. Now, I'm going to be doing it with my buddy here, Larry Yance, and he lives in Arkansas. It seems like we've known each other forever. We talk all the time online. We chat through emails. He's been a huge supporter of the channel. He has followed me from the beginning. And yeah, I wrote 10 questions for him. And so, this book. Sorry about pushing my glasses up. And speaking of my glasses, I need a sip of iced coffee. Just one sec. Yeah, I'm drinking chocolate peanut butter cup coffee. So, this book is extremely graphic and gruesome. This being one of John Saul's only books that I can even remember that takes place during Halloween. Yes, part of the book does take place on Halloween night. Now, this book is extremely graphic for being a John Saul novel. The depictions of child sacrifice and animal sacrifice are so extreme in this book that if you have trigger warnings for animal cruelty, you're not going to want to read this one. Yeah, I think John Saul had something against cats, but in this one, he has it out for dogs too. And the setting takes place in St. Albans, Louisiana, and in 1959, something went on in Conway House. And now, with it being 2021, when this book came out in 1999, the story takes place 40 years later. Well, now it's 62 years later. But what goes on in this house is so fucking disturbing that John Saul never really wrote this gruesome of horror, except in Black Lightning, another book that Larry and I did a buddy read together in. And this one we're going to do it a little bit different. So I don't really want to give too much about this book away. If you've never read the book, you should really pick it up. If you want to read a messed up, family debauched tale of devil worship, sacrifice, just, yeah, evil and messed up people, pick up The Right Hand of Evil by John Saul. So, here's what I did. I asked Larry 10 questions. So I'm going to pop up his picture right here. And these are the questions. Oh, before I get into this, I'm going to welcome some new people to the channel. So in no particular order, I want to welcome Not Interested. Very cool name. I don't know why I keep pushing up my glasses. Carla Bond, Lisa Helling, The Pumpkinator, Thomas Alley, Regina Mathers, and Dory N. Gray. Yeah, very cool name. So I'm going to cross those out so I don't repeat it again. So these are the questions that I asked Larry, and these were Larry's answers. And then I'll give you my answers. I said, have you been reading John Saul very long, and when did you read your first novel by him? So here's what he said. These are very cool. He said, hey Richard, I finished the book and enjoyed it a lot. To answer your questions, number one, I first read John Saul in the summer of 1978 when I was 15. It was Suffer the Children, and I got it at a used bookstore. I also read Punish the Sinners and Cry for the Strangers while in high school and liked all three, but for some reason never picked up another until I discovered your channel and you started your reread, and we read Now 3 together. I'm glad I rediscovered him. He is a very good writer. My first experience reading John Saul was in 1974. Yeah, 1974. I think I was 13. I might change that because I should have looked this up. But yeah, it was when he released Suffer the Children. And Suffer the Children was the book that everyone in 7th, 8th grade was reading at the time. It might have been 75. I'll have to look it up, but I'll put the correct date right here. But the year that it came out, yeah, everybody was reading it. We were reading Carrie and Suffer the Children. So, yeah. Question number 2, I asked him, I said, now when you look at the characters in this book, either good or bad, which are you like the most and why? Now, in the book, there were twin siblings, a boy and a girl. And they were 12, getting ready to turn 13. And I think they were Kim and Jared. Kim and Jared. He said, Kim, she is empathetic, and I feel I often am as well, or certainly try to be if possible. It's funny because I kind of felt the same way, but I could also relate to her brother. Her brother took a lot of bullshit from people, and yeah, I put up with a bunch of shit from people that I shouldn't have as a kid, but I could also relate to Kim. It's kind of funny. Both Larry and I are openly gay men, almost the same age, and it's funny that we relate to the girl. This one, where they had grizzly, and Shirley meant gristly. No biggie though, and actually I thought it was kind of funny. Yeah, there was nothing about this book that I hated either. I've read this book. This was my 3rd time now rereading it. I read it in 1999 when it first came out, and then I read it again in 2007, and then I read it again just now with Larry in 2021. Question 4. Were there any negative trigger warnings for you in The Right Hand of Evil? He said no. I have never been one to be triggered by content in novels, but no disrespect to those who can be. We're all different. Me? Yes. I don't know who was calling me, but so you guys might notice a little bit of editing difference here. Yeah. My stupid phone went off, and for some weird reason, questions 4 through 9 got recorded with no sound. So, I'm going to try to do this without my glasses on. So I'm going to go back to question 4. And question 4 was, were there any negative trigger warnings for you in The Right Hand of Evil? And Larry said, no, I have never been one to be triggered by content in novels, but no disrespect to those who can be. We're all different. Me? Oh my God. Yeah, this one had tons of trigger warnings for me. This one had more animal sacrifice and more child sacrifice, which didn't bother me, but anytime, I don't know what John Saul had against cats, but every time he kills and slaughters or skins a cat, yeah, and nails him to a wall or a door or a tree, yeah. These tear ducts, yeah, they got wet in this one. So yeah, there was a couple negative trigger warnings, but otherwise the horror in this one is so well done, and this one is super graphic and gruesome. I loved it though. So number 5, the question was, could you relate to any situation? Could you relate to any situations in the book? And this better be recording with. So question 5 was, could you relate to any situations in the book? And Larry said, absolutely. My father was an alcoholic, and John Saul hit the nail on the head on what that can be like. Actually, me too. My dad was a severe alcoholic, and my dad hated me, and I hated my dad. So, yeah. So he used to tell me all the time, but yeah, that was a situation in the book that we could both relate to. Question number 6: who was your favorite character and your least favorite character? And he said his favorite was Kim, a very sympathetic character. And same here. It's kind of funny. We both picked the same character. We both could relate to her. It's kind of funny. We are so much alike. It's uncanny, and we've never met each other in person. But yeah, we both picked Kim. Larry's least favorite character was Ted. He was never really likable. Now, my least favorite character was probably Aunt Cora. Yeah. It's a toss-up. But yeah, my least favorite character was the aunt. She was a total bitch. I loved to hate her. Yeah. Question number 7. Were you satisfied with the book's ending? And if not, what do you think could have been different? Larry said he was satisfied. The events were leading up to that type of ending, and John Saul pulled it off perfectly. Spoiler, So if you don't want to hear this spoiler, just, kind of go forward like 45 seconds. I loved the whole notion that Jared, having a twin sister, wound up playing such a huge part in combating the nature of the evil behind the Conway, quote, firstborn men. Yeah. That's a good point, Larry. I completely forgot about that. Not really, but I mean, So, I loved the ending. I don't think anything could have changed. I thought it was perfect. I don't think John Saul writes a bad ending of a book. That's why I've always loved him. Out of 5 stabbies, how many do you give The Right Hand of Evil? Larry said 4 stabbies. I really liked it, but it's not an all-time favorite John Saul of his. I gave it 4.5. But still, kind of like Larry here. It's not my all-time favorite John Saul either. Probably Punish the Sinners. Or no, not Punish the Sinners. Suffer the Children or Black Lightning. And yeah, Larry and I both did a buddy read on Black Lightning too. Question 9. Larry, would you be willing to do another buddy read with me? And if so, what book? Larry said, if we did another John Saul, maybe his final novel, House of Reckoning. Maybe. Yeah, I still want. I like doing the buddy reads on John Saul, and I love rereading them. So, and then he said, but if not, other writers, 1976's Elizabeth by Ken Greenhall, or 1975's The Auctioneer, and I'll pop up, you'll see the title, the covers of all these books. From Joan Sampson, The Auctioneer, 1975. I own both of these, but haven't read them. Or 1973's Burnt Offerings by Robert Morosco. This would be a reread of an all-time favorite for me. So yeah, that's me too. I love Burnt Offerings. And Larry, I'm looking forward to do another reread with you. It's always fun to drop little comments and send little funny emails back and forth. So I know they always make you smile, and we always have fun with them. So hey, it's always great to do buddy reads. And as always, I want to tell Larry, thank you so much for doing another one with me. Thanks for answering the questions. Hopefully this one it was kind of fun doing it this way. And to those of you that are new to the channel, if you came across this review, this buddy read of 1999's The Right Hand of Evil by John Saul, if you came across it for the first time, if you liked what you saw, I'd love a thumbs up. And if you're a returning follower / subscriber, thanks again for the tune in and for watching the content. And if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it if you want. You don't have to. Hey, hit that subscribe button right there. Ring that bell so you get notifications of when I post another one. And I'm going to be doing once again, I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to Larry Yance. Thank you so much, my friend, for doing it. It's always a blast. And hey, Larry, I'll send you another email. And as always, we'll always talk. Hey, it was a blast. And as always, you guys, let's get scared. Pick up a scary book. And you know what? 1999's The Right Hand of Evil will scare the hell out of you. It's gruesome, it's graphic, it's gory, and hey, it's great fun. I love John Saul, but you guys know that already. So yeah, once again, this was book 27 of his 36 horror novels of classic horror by John Saul. Pick up 1999's The Right Hand of Evil. Take care, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Richard with Are You Into Horror? And hey, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.